right, Lucas. Last playoff game. This one's for all the marbles. The Philadelphia Eagles at the New Orleans Saints. Which, quick side note, Saints head coach, in order to inspire his boys and rally the troops, goes in there with the championship trophy from, I think, 2009, sits it on a fat stack of $250,000, and he looks at his players and he says, win 3 fucking games, and we win. And you get this.
Big dick energy, Sean Payton.
Lucas, are you about that? Are you about that move? Is that a boss move right there?
It's a boss move. $225,000 is probably a pocket change to the football players.
Hey, man,
but
that's your
still
Super Bowl bonus right
bonus.
there.
I'm sure it was probably like lit, like being in there intense. I'm sure he did it like so serious. It was probably pretty hype, but I'm about it.
See, I'm definitely about it, but at the same time, like, what happens if you fuck up?
Oh yeah. It's
What happens if
embarrassing.
Big Dick Nick comes in and just fucking wrecks your shit? Now, this being said, the Eagles did lose by like a 40-point blowout at New Orleans earlier on in the year behind
Mhm.
Carson Wentz, not behind Big Dick Nick.
Yeah, they only are in this game because of a field goal post. So I mean,
So, Lucas, or I guess I'll
read
I tell you what, Lucas, I want to hear what you have to say before I read Chance. He's not here. You
Well,
are.
I don't know. Obviously, the Saints are a better team, probably by like twice the team Philly is overall. Better quarterback, better defense, just better offense in general. But Nick Foles is still quarterback, so that just throws it into a loop. I don't know who to pick because he wins games for some reason. And the Saints, they've lost some pretty bad games this year in the regular season for no reason. That could happen again. Like, they could play bad, even though they're at home, which is a huge advantage for New Orleans. I want to pick my man Nick just because I think he can do it. Like, I legit think they can win, but I'm picking the Saints
You're picking the Saints.
because I think they're just a better team.
So,
And Drew Brees wants another bowl.
So, I'm at the point now where I care more about the story in this playoff than I do about the actual teams. Nothing would bring me more delight to have Nick Foles win and beat the Saints. Mainly because then we could then throw it in Chance's face, A. B,
Chance might neck if they lose.
Nick Foles will be a 2-time back-to-back Super Bowl MVP, assuming.
Yeah,
That is wild, dude.
it's insane.
Carson Wentz is going to have 2 Super Bowl rings and not even throw a single football in the playoffs. Think about that. So, for that reason, and that reason alone, I expect the Saints to win 100%, but I really, really want the Eagles to win. So, I'm going to pick Philadelphia.
I agree.
Lucas, I'm going to give you a guess to see who do you think Chance picked for this.
I mean, I read his thing, but he was
okay,
going to
never
pick
mind.
the Saints anyway.
Okay, never mind. I was hoping you didn't read it.
No, I read them this morning.
Okay, so from Chance. Last week we saw the magical powers of Big Dick Nick in action. Big. I'm guessing he probably meant to put Big Dick. but he
Nice
put
typo, Chance.
Big Nick swung his huge dong just as the Bears kicker Cody Parkey attempted a game-winning field goal. The force from his massive dong changed the wind direction and forced the kick to hit off both the post and the crossbar, allowing the Eagles to advance. Sean Payton, head coach of the Saints, understands the power he's about to face. So this week he rolled a cart of $250,000 in cash and a Lombardi trophy into the Saints locker room and said, "You want this? Win 3 fucking games," and walked out. This week the Saints are going to castrate Big Dick Nick and send the defending Super Bowl champs home. I'm picking Saints.
Sick prediction.
Wow. I tell you what, I feel just throttled right now about this game. I can't wait to sit there and watch it.
It's going to be good.
Do you think this is like bulletin board material for the Eagles? Do you think like Sean Payton doing that, is that like a bulletin board?
Oh,
move?
they're probably laughing about it. They're probably trying not to think about it, but it probably rattled them
You think they're like, fuck, dude?
Yeah.
They're coming in with that big dick energy.
because their coach probably gave them like fucking ice cream cone or something.
All right, Lucas, that right there is our predictions. So we'll see how it goes.
This game is Trash to Your Radio was in attendance.
We were there,
So
close.
the 3 of us went to check out that game. We had 6 seats.
I caught a puck.
Tyler caught a puck in his mouth.
It was hot.
We were running late because of fucking traffic. While we were walking up the escalators, they scored a fucking goal like a minute into
Who
the
scored
game.
it?
It
that
was
Russ?
Tanner Pearson.
Oh, okay.
They scored like a minute and a half into the game. When we were buying our beer, like 30 seconds later, fucking another goal goes in.
Rust.
So that was Rust. It was a sick move. So they scored 2 goals before we even got to our seats.
He didn't even touch the goalie for that one, too. That was the crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't look like he did, at
It was a
least.
sick move. It was a awesome game. It was very entertaining. So many fights. Tyler was like, "Oh, I just want to see a fucking hockey fight," and literally like 5 seconds later, there was a fight.
Because like, fights make it good.
Oh, it was sick. There was fights, a lot of hits.
But that fight wasn't a good fight. The
No,
second one was the better
the second
fight.
one with Aston Reese was sick. Some sick goals by Rust. He had 2 again. 2 shorthanded goals in one game. Unreal. And Murray posted a fucking phenomenal game. 36 saves on 37 shots. Even the one went in, it was borderline goalie interference. He could have had a huge shutout. 8 straight wins for Murray. He's playing phenomenal. If that keeps up, we're a wagon. But it still comes down to Murray. Pens are 11-2 in their last 13. One of the hottest teams in the league. Huge West Coast road trip coming up. They're in California this weekend. 5 games over the next 2 weeks. 2 back-to-back games. It's going to be a huge test, a long road trip. Then we're going into the week All-Star break after that road trip. So Pens are on fire. It's a good time for hockey.
So, from my perspective, that hockey game was, I think as the kids would say, lit AF.
Lit.
So, yeah, we did miss the first 2 goals somehow. We just lucked into that one. But I will also say the difference from being in the 200 section and the 100 section, you see a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Way different people. In the 200 section, there was people like cussing out the refs left and right. In that 100 section, dude, no one even said a word. It was awesome.
Yeah, you're so close. You just want to watch the game.
However, did you see the creepy guy in front of us?
Yeah, there was a lot of creepy dudes.
So, okay, the creepy guy in front of us, he was probably like 60 years old, probably 300 pounds, okay? Did you see the girl, the girls to her right who were trying to get on the camera?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, okay, so there was 3 ladies who were trying to get on the camera to the right of us, a couple rows back. The creepy old guy in front of us is looking at him, waving them down to sit in like the 4 seats beside him. Did you see that, Lucas?
I did not see that at all.
Oh, dude, it was so
I was
weird.
too busy watching the Rockets on my left, trying to get on camera. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Lucas.
Yeah.
We gotta redefine your term of rocket
And
there.
they were on the camera on the big screen. My fucking hands were in there clapping. So technically, I made it on the jumbotron.
Look at that,
My
Lucas.
hands.
You're there.
Yeah. So.
And I also, because I know so many respected reporters and athletes listen to this podcast, I actually have to apologize to Matt Murray.
Thank you.
He was wild
It was
last
phenomenal.
night. I mean, truly impressive as hell. Now, also, granted, I don't know what other goalies are like up close, but wow, I respect the goalie position so much more now. That
Yeah.
is crazy.
He played good for you.
The amount of shots and like how you have to throw your body and stuff, it was crazy. It was honestly like awesome just
Yep.
to see him like throw his body around and catch it and shit like that, because it's like you don't even see it. Like you just
Yeah,
boom.
it's so fast up close.
However, it was funny people seeing whenever like the puck hit the glass, like people like that. Like, come on,
Rookies.
rookies, man. I wasn't even. I did that one time, but that was just to be an ass. So
Yeah.
Lucas, when's the next trash tier 2? The Pens,
I don't know. We got to keep looking for tickets. That was a fun time.
dude. There was a band that performed. I wish we would have got their name.
Yeah,
of that
live band. They were sick. It was 70s night, so
Except-
Iceberg was dressed as Elvis. So like all the jumbotron was like retro.
There was like 4 people.
Yeah, there weren't that many people dressed up compared to other nights. I went to Star Wars night and like half the people were dressed up.
When was it? Was it on a weekend or was it on like during?
It was
the
on a
weekday?
weekday.
Oh, okay. Well,
But,
see, I figured.
I mean,
like,
no one dressed up as 70s. That's just a weird theme to have.
It's like, yeah.
I see
but
maybe
Star
even
Wars.
80s, or 90s, but it was still pretty cool. They had like big disco ball. Live band was cool. But yeah,
Lucas,
that's
how much did you want to kill the people behind us?
They're just fucking old people, probably in their 50s, 60s. Just you could tell it's probably their first hockey game ever. They're out on this fucking date somehow, and they're obviously from the 70s because they were in their fucking heaven with all this music and shit. Kept singing the songs. They had no idea what was going on. We're literally like 10 rows up from the ice, and this lady behind us, I can't see anything. I should have brought my binos. Should have brought my binoculars.
No, but she said binos. That's how you
Yeah,
know
or
she's
whatever.
old.
I couldn't remember, but she didn't know any of the players' names. She didn't know what was going on. She just kept singing songs, complaining. It was the worst.
Now, in all honesty, though, I probably would not know any of the players' names.
Yeah, but you're
But-
not saying it out loud, screaming it.
No, I was just whispering it to you slowly. Like, hey, what's that guy? So, It was cool, and it was also really funny trying to see Rust go for that hat trick because you could tell whenever he was on the ice, man, he was just fucking shit.
Oh yeah, if someone scores 2 goals and you're winning, they're gonna try to get you that third goal. Like the coaches try to do that for you.
They're just flinging it, man.
It was a good time.
Great time off, dude. Again,
And that's hockey talk.
hockey talk. So, but now we're gonna go. Wave came out, and Derrick Rose is still number 2 in the Western Conference guards.
Didn't Derrick Rose tell everyone to kill themselves?
Okay, so yeah, so pretty much
What a sick league.
Yeah, in an interview they pretty much said about his doubters and his haters and stuff, and he pretty much came back with they can kill themselves if they don't believe in me. Within like 3 hours he apologized and kind of took that sort of rebuttal, but he still really can't say that.
Yeah.
But so now currently LeBron leads all vote getters in the sense that there's this movie going around called Bird Box.
Okay.
And I know Chance refused to watch it, but I know you did watch it,
Yep.
and I watched
it Christmas Eve to avoid talking to my family.
Who wouldn't?
I was like, I'm watching a movie.
You literally just sat in your room the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Wild, Lucas, wild.
It happens.
Let's just have a little conversation about what did you think of the movie?
Okay. So, I watched Bird Box because it's all over Facebook. All right? Everyone was talking about this. Was like I said before Christmas. This is the scariest movie of all time. I can't even finish this movie. I had to leave the room. I had to turn it off. It's so scary. So I'm a big scary movie guy.
People were actually saying that?
Oh, it was all over. It was the most terrifying movie ever.
Wild. Those people must have watched Teletubbies all their life.
Yeah, I don't understand. Anyway, I love scary movies, so like, all right, it's gonna be lit. And it has Sandra Bullock, big Sandra Bullock guy. Who isn't? Great actress. So I watched it. So I'm assuming everyone knows what it is, or at least heard of it, have seen it.
Spoilers. Well, we'll go into spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Right now.
Spoiler alert. We're going to talk about it, so skip through this or just stop listening.
But make sure you like, subscribe, YouTube, all that good stuff.
So it's kind of a mix between a Quiet Place, The Happening, The Mist, like all these suspenseful. You can't go outside. You can't make a noise. You can't look at it. So all that shit. So this one, you can't look at it, or it makes you kill yourself in some crazy fashion. So the movie, it's good. I'm just gonna say it's good, and that's it. Like, it wasn't scary. Like, it's literally not a scary movie. If anything, it's a thriller and suspenseful.
Yeah, I'd go more thriller than I would
like
scary.
It's not scary or terrifying.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, no, I'd go with.
Like, it's still suspenseful. Like, some of the deaths, the suicides, they were pretty intense. Like, it was made well. Like, that kind. It's like, I guess you could say that's kind of scary. Like, seeing people like burn themselves in car fires and shit.
So, what was the premise of the whole movie, Lucas? Why?
The premise is.
You didn't really tell anything about the plot. You just went straight into it.
Well, I'm just talking about it.
I guess.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So, for some reason, like I said, if you look at these monsters, it makes you want to kill yourself. It doesn't explain what the monsters are, where they came from. But this woman, she was with her sister when it happened. The sister killed herself because she saw the monster. She finds this refugee, these people trying to avoid this thing. So they're just held up there. There's a bunch of drama in the house. They're trying to figure out what's going on. They're trying to figure out what it is. Eventually, at one point, it goes to like 5 years later in the future or something. So now there's 2 kids because she was pregnant. So she had a kid, and there's another kid that she took care of because the other mother died. So now they're living with like a boyfriend or whatever. They're surviving, like I said, for years. And then they hear about this refugee camp, and it's down this creek or this river like for days, maybe even weeks. You have to float down this river. And this whole time, you can't look. So they're all blindfolded. Yeah, so it's just basically about that. I'm not going to... You watch the very ending, but...
Oh, see, I was going to talk about the ending, so I was probably going to spoil it.
Oh, and then you can talk about it. But like I said, it was a good movie for a Netflix movie. Like, if it was in theaters, I'd be disappointed because I'd expect a theatrical movie, like, made more intense. But for what it was, a Netflix thriller, it was good. It wasn't... I'm not saying it's original. Obviously, I know they took ideas from other movies, but it was a good movie.
I'm pretty sure it's a book, isn't it?
I don't know.
Well, okay, so from my perspective, I was not a fan of it. Like I thought it was okay. It was an okay movie. That's the way I looked at it. I don't know. Like it's a Netflix movie. It's what it is. It's like you could have. It was a 2-hour movie. You could have done so much worse with your 2 hours, but you could have done probably something a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Like it's not amazing. It's not bad. Like I didn't hate it, but it was okay to good at best.
But I really did not. Like, the ending, I think, actually killed it. A lot of it. Like for me, so much of it is built around the ending. If you can wrap up the movie properly, cool. If you can't, you're gonna ruin your whole movie.
Yeah, it felt like a cheap ending. Like they didn't think about it.
So like the ending pretty much ended where pretty much the majority of the movie, it's one big flashback. So, but like the current time in the movie, as I say in air quotes, is Sandra Bullock and these 2 kids going down this river the whole time for like 2 days or whatever, where like Lucas said, they can't look or anything. So at the end of those 2 days, it ends where, they finally get close. They hear birds. For some reason, birds can detect these things. They can detect like these beings or monsters or whatever, and they like flip out because of it. So that's how you like know. And apparently, do the monsters stay away? Like that's the one thing they never really specified. That's the other thing.
It doesn't scare them away. It just alerts people that are by so they can close their eyes.
Okay, so see, that's another thing I want to bring up. So what happens is eventually they get to the end, and Sandra Bullock loses track of her 2 kids. Like they get separated because monsters are coming out. There's like 3 monsters that are coming after them at like the end there. So it's like this big intense thing. And she ends up finding both of them, and like the monsters telling these kids to like take off their blindfolds. Like,
I mean, I thought that scene was pretty well made.
Like that was good. Like that, I had no problem with. But like the way it ended was just them running through like these woods, and then eventually they just come to this door, and they're let into the sanctuary. And so you get there, and the sanctuary it's a sanctuary for blind people. So that's how the whole thing. They couldn't see, like they can't see it.
Yeah, it was a home for the blind. So that's how they were able to survive so long, is because these people literally can't get affected by monsters because they don't have vision.
Yeah.
So they're bringing in refugees.
So like that part, okay, I have no problem with that. It's just like, it just seemed like such a cheap like, oh, there it is. Like you're being chased, and then just like, oh, you just so happen to get saved last minute. It wasn't like
it was a very happy ending, like a Lifetime movie, fucking ending.
Yeah, and like the other thing, like the pace wasn't right. Like those monsters are barreling down so quickly on Sandra Bullock and these kids, and then they stood at the door for 30 seconds. Like, if at least like one of the kids would have got grabbed or something like that, you know what I mean?
So it's just part of the movie. It was just like it's just because it's Netflix. It took less time on it, less money, obviously.
And apparently in the book as well, this is the other thing that I wanted to bring up. Apparently in the book, the ending, it isn't a home for the blind. It's actually a group of people who like self-mutilated their eyes to become blind.
I mean, that would work.
That would have been a way cooler ending, to be honest. You know what I mean?
And they would have to do it for themselves.
Yeah, but
show
like,
that on camera.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you could have literally just shown like her like putting like a knife in her hand or something like that. You know what I mean?
Pretty sick.
That, but it was a Netflix movie. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. It was a very average movie.
5, maybe 5.5.
If you look at a Netflix factor, it's probably like a 7 out of 10. If you go on the Netflix scale.
I mean, it's made for the masses, I think.
Yeah, it's very trendy, and now you got the Blind Side challenge and all that type of hoopla, you know. And then Lucas, why don't you tell us a little bit about You?
All right, so there's this series. It's like a show or something. It's called You. Penn Badgley.
No, wait. I want to know about you, Lucas, the person.
No, I'm not talking about myself. That's you don't want to hear that. Yeah, the show. I'm not even gonna give too much away because it's still brand new. It's about like this dude stalking this chick, and just the crazy stuff that he's capable of. But it's very well made for a Netflix show. I was surprised. Like it's legit. Like the acting's phenomenal. Like it just feels so real. Like I started watching this last night, like 8:30. They're 45-minute episodes. I watched 6 in a row, and I have to wake up at 4 in the morning. So I didn't go. Like it was worth staying up for.
What time did you go to bed?
It was like close to 1 o'clock.
Wild.
Yeah. So.
Was it worth it? Would you do it again? Are you gonna do it again tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to finish it when I get home. Like I've been thinking about it all day. I was gonna listen to it at work, like not watch it, just listen to it. I was like, no, I want to watch it. But
you want the experience.
Yeah, like it's just so good. It's so like intense. Like there's so much like building up. Like my anxiety was like through the roof just because like you're just waiting for shit to happen. Like you know it's about to happen, but like it just draws on. And you're like just fucking happen already. Like I was getting so anxious, but like it was like in such a crazy way. It felt so real, and it's just well made. Like it's like legit. I'm happy I watched it.
So I think it's funny that Netflix can put together shows better than they can movies.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I'm a big like drama, like romance guy. I love those kind of shit. I'm a
Yeah,
big
you are.
softy for that. And
Yeah,
this
you
is just, and it mixes in also like a psychopaths aspect. And I'm a big like serial killer guy. I love like true crime. So it's just a great show.
Because you're just a complicated individual.
I'm artistic.
And we love you for that. We love you for that.
Thanks.
Did you say you're autistic?
Yeah, might as well be.
All right, Lucas, is there anything else on Netflix you want to get a shout out to?
And the Colts just playing bad. It's just a bad game. I think Andrew Luck, he's not really used to that kind of pressure. It's been a while, but and the Chiefs are good. That's why they're there.
Yeah, I didn't watch a single snap of this football game, but I told you guys, this is not the Alex Smith Chiefs. This is the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs. Therefore, they're serious contenders.
I don't think Pat Mahomes threw a touchdown pass.
It doesn't matter, dude. They still won. They still won. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the Chiefs fans at the home field definitely helped. They were throwing snowballs at the Colts players.
Were they really?
Yeah. And Andy Reid.
Yeah, they threw one at Andy Reid. He got pretty pissed off.
He yelled at the crowd.
What do you say to him? How dare you?
I don't know. He was pointing at his head and pointing at the crowd.
Have some respect.
Something like that. Yeah.
With his
I just know that
mustache.
he wants to go to the White House now because he saw that fucking fast food
He saw that.
buffet.
He saw that ensemble of fast food.
He wants
food.
some of them Trump burgers.
Ugh, could you imagine how delicious those would be? Or not delicious, depending on how you look
Yeah,
at it.
imagine how much like time the workers put into these Big Macs, knowing they were going to the
Oh,
White
you
House.
know those are some of the best
best
Big
ever
Macs
made.
ever made. They probably look like the
Loaded
Big
with
Macs in the
sauce.
commercials.
Or do you think they were actually some of the worst Big Macs ever?
No.
made?
No way. Trump would make sure. He would probably send all 1,000 burgers back if
He
one
would-
of them was bad.
He would buy that McDonald's and then shut it down.
Probably.
So we'll see. Then the last game, New England at Kansas City, for the Arctic burst of
Yeah.
weather. I think it's probably going to be. I think they're predicting it to be the coldest NFL game to ever happen, or something like that.
It's
or
the coldest game in Chiefs history to ever happen in Kansas City.
so this is going to be a cold one. There's going to be a ton of snow, cold weather, a real football game. You know,
Man sport.
man sport. Who you picking, Chance?
I'm going with the Patriots. I know that they played earlier this season, and the Patriots won just by a field goal. But I think Belichick's going to have a game plan for Pat Mahomes. And I don't think that the Chiefs' defense is going to be as good as they were last week. I think Tom Brady's going to carve them up, even in the snow. I just trust the Patriots more than Andy Reid, the choke artist.
Lucas?
Yep, Tom Brady had a better game last week than Pat Mahomes. The Patriots faced a better team than the Chiefs last week. I think it's going to be all Patriots. Tom Brady's just going to show why he's the best, and Mahomes is going to show why he's a rookie. 2 interceptions.
They're going to sacrifice.
For Mahomes, too?
Write it down.
They're going to sacrifice Gronk's body at halftime to give more life into Brady.
They're just going to, just literally absorb him. And
They are. They're going to, lay him down in, a pentagram and just cut him open, and Brady's just going to, eat his kidneys.
That's why he's deteriorating, because they're fucking feeding him to
Yeah.
Brady.
Would you be surprised?
Brady's, his fucking kelp shakes, whatever he eats, they're actually Gronk shakes. They're pieces of Gronk that he's slowly
Just
consuming.
ACLs and fucking hamstrings.
Yeah, taking his tendons out and surgically implanting them in Brady.
Just bits and pieces going in there. Hey, man, it's working. I'm also going to go New England on this. I think until you see... Last story of the week. So this is a Kotaku article that highlights former Gearbox lawyer accuses CEO Randy Pitchford of taking secret $12 million bonus in lawsuit Gearbox calls absurd. So pretty much what this was someone was trying to sue CEO of Gearbox, who came out with games such as Borderlands and Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Trash game. That game fucking sucks.
Alien Colonial Marines.
Alien.
But Borderlands, primo game. So pretty much trying to sue him, saying that he took this money allegedly that was supposed to go into development, and it was $12 million, which is a fuck ton of money, especially for development of a game. Another thing that came up in the lawsuit was that he left a flash drive sitting around or out in public, and on that flash drive were things such as important accounts and stuff like that for Gearbox, special things, as well as his own. Okay, this is quote, upon information and belief, Randy Pitchford's USB drive also contained Randy Pitchford's personal collection of underage pornography.
Jesus Christ.
He left this shit out in the open.
What?
Okay, so then, now this is what I wanted to read. Several hours after the publication, on a podcast, Ars Technica tracked down, or I guess had Pitchford on, and he talked about this, and he said that it was of a cam girl. This pornography was a cam girl in which the woman streams live erotic content, and explained that he had saved a porn video of a cam girl and said on said memory stick before it was lost. So then this is quotes. He said this, okay? It's a woman who is masturbating, Pitchford said, and when she has some experience that appears as if she is having an orgasm, a huge amount of fluid comes out of her vagina. Just like this is not a sex worker. It's a fucking this is a fucking magician. He added,
This dude's a CEO?
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Saying he had purchased one of her videos and put it on the USB stick. Some kid, an employee of the Medieval Times, discovered this memory stick, took it home and accessed it because it was before we were password protecting, and discovered secrets of my company and future games and development, and also discovered the pornography. And it was barely legal porn. This girl's handle was only 18 in air quotes. So clearly Gearbox has sent out some things saying that they're going to find the bottom of this and all that, but this is some pretty serious accusations to be thrown around right there.
The story just sounds fucked from the beginning.
Yeah,
Why would this guy
is this on
have
the Youngin
porn?
or something? This
No, this is on
real.
Kotaku.
Why would this
Legit.
guy have porn on a fucking flash drive that he also had secrets to the company on? And he's just
It's like a
leaving
fucking meme.
just leaving this shit out in the open all the
Is this the
time.
next Indiana Jones movie?
So yeah, he says this is from the article. The person says that Pitchford left a USB drive in Dallas, Texas restaurant containing sensitive corporate documents for Gearbox and its partners, including 2K Games, Sega, Sony, Microsoft, and others. Says the
How
lawsuit.
big is this fucking flash
Why the
drive?
fuck would you take it to a restaurant?
Why would you have it on you?
Maybe he just had it in his pocket, man, and it fell out or something. Maybe it was a business
Oh,
meeting.
And
sick.
some
I got
kid
this.
just found it and took it home and put it on his computer.
Listen, I'm just telling you guys the facts because I thought it was funny as hell reading this and saying this dude came on a podcast and said
The
that.
fucking dudes at work are like, oh no, she just sent me another video. I don't know how to save it. Oh, this doesn't look important. Fucking, how do you stick it on a flash drive that has
Look,
that shit on
he
there?
purchased it. He purchased the video.
But he purposely put it onto that flash
And
drive.
then he was like, "Wait a minute, I'm gonna put this on my personal flash drive that has all these company secrets."
And leave it at this fucking restaurant.
And
in
then,
Dallas,
at
Texas.
what point do you think he thought he might have lost?
Use the cloud, bro. Use the fucking cloud.
Yeah, but people can hack the cloud.
You can probably
You
hide
can't-
that.
People can
better.
find your fucking flash drive at a restaurant in Dallas, Texas.
He was thinking he was probably like, the only way someone can get the information is if they take it out of my pocket. And
Maybe he was like jerking it in the bathroom and it like fell out or something.
so I just thought it was a funny article that I really wanted to share with you guys.
I wonder how bad the stocks have plummeted at Gearbox. That guy's definitely gone.
So here's the thing. It's only allegations. Nothing has been approved
He's
or
still
confirmed.
fucked. He's gone.
So, but yeah, it's pretty much the fact that he said that this bitch is a magician. She's a fucking magician. So, Lucas,
Hey.
next time you're with one of your Tinder dates, you just whisper in her ear, "You're a fucking
Hey,
magician."
Lucas got that magic stick, so he's good.
You already know what it is.
Oh man, all right. Well, Chance, it was great having you back.
Yeah, it was good to be
It
back.
feels whole again to have the trio here.
I missed you guys.
Lucas, why do you
Gotta love it.
just have this most uncomfortable look on your
I'm
face?
just so happy that everything's back.
Lucas has like that same flash drive with like his work shit. And porn
I'm just
on
trying
it.
to think how to delete it.
He's trying to think of like a way to secure it so he'll never leave it at a restaurant.
Lucas, what you do is you just got to get it get like an earring or something, just put it in.
You got to get one of those like old school chains that people used to have that like connected to their wallets and just connect it to your flash drive so that
There
if
you
it
go.
ever falls out of your pocket, it'll just hang there.
Sick.
I don't see anything wrong with that one. All right. It's all right, Chance. You gotta get like your rage back.
I don't have that. My rage left. I got real drunk that night and that's just gone.
Yeah, I wish we did this Monday because I had like a lot to talk about, but now Like the more you hear other people talk about it, I don't even want to talk about it.
I haven't watched any sports at all, like any shows or listened to anything related to sports this week because I'm just so over it.
You're so over this week because the Saints lost.
I still
Dude,
can't
it's
wait for the
just-
Super Bowl,
It's
though.
tainted, bro. It's fucking tainted.
All right. We'll see. Chance, maybe we'll get a good argument going between me and you.
I will. We'll go.
You ready?
What's going on, everybody? You're listening to episode 23 of Trash Gear Radio. I'm your host, Tyler, joined today by the frag master himself, Lucas.
Yeah, yeet!
And the conspiracy theory master himself, Chance.
I can't compete with what Lucas just did, so.
Chance is
I'm
low
gonna try
energy.
to
Lucas
bring
is
it all
high
to the
energy right
table.
now, but it's all right. Chance is heartbroken right now because his Saints were stolen the Super Bowl appearance that they deserved.
Fuck yeah.
All right, guys, before we get into it, make sure you go follow us at Twitter at TrashGearSports. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play. Check us out there. Make sure you listen to last week's podcast.
We out there.
Like Lucas said, we are out there. But I tell you what, this was such a good weekend of football. Well, good and bad. It depends on how you look at it. Both games went into overtime, which I think is the first time that's ever
It
happened.
was definitely the most exciting championship weekend.
That
I
is
think.
for sure. I mean, granted, they did have a drive. I think that started. Oh, never mind. No, it didn't start in the fourth quarter or third quarter in the transfer. But yeah, like I said, if you look at the last couple, starting at the fourth quarter, it went turnover on downs, punt, interception, touchdown, 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 field goal, and a half, or which then put it into overtime. So it's like the game was crazy. Like it was like there was nothing. It was so boring, and then
Out of nowhere, it just fucking
it was like
picks
boom.
up.
This is the game we were expecting.
Got to
Which-
the point where they were just like, just let them score so we can have the ball back.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even playing defense.
Chiefs actually had that game won. They got a game-sealing interception off Tom Brady in the
Oh, I
fourth
forgot about
last drive, but Chiefs defensive lineman D Ford was 5 yards offside. So
Dude, it was horrible.
play was nullified. Tom Brady drives down the field and scores.
He was literally so much. He was into what the neutral fraction zone or whatever the hell
Oh
it's
yeah,
called.
he literally they showed it on TV. His like whole like fucking front half of his body was like across the line of scrimmage. It was
How does he do that? Like you're in the championship game and like you literally just cost your
Yeah,
team.
and no one looks over. They go, fucker,
dude, all he had to
back.
do was fucking like lay on his back like 10 yards behind the fucking play, you know, and they would have won the game.
But this dude's fucking lucky, though, that the controversy in New Orleans happened, because I feel like this is getting passed by a lot.
yeah, I do too.
Well, so the other controversy was that a Tom Brady or roughing the passer was called on Tom Brady pretty much, and it was on that last drive. I think one of the last drives he scored a touchdown. Pretty much the
Yeah.
defenseman kind of like swung his hand down and like it barely grazed like the front of his helmet and like hit his shoulder.
It definitely wasn't egregious, but it was still on his head. You can't make contact to his head.
Yeah, it's a rule.
That's just how it is. Even if you spit on him or fucking breathe on his head, it's still on
So you're
his
just
head.
not allowed to touch his head at all. Like
You can't-
that's in the rules.
Nothing can touch the quarterback's head. It's an automatic penalty.
That's kind of some horse shit. Just saying. I mean, you shouldn't be able to spear him in the head or anything.
That's
like
the
that.
that's
but-
the Aaron Rodgers rule.
What, you just can't touch him anywhere in the face?
Anywhere in the head.
I thought the Aaron Rodgers rule was you weren't allowed to land on him
Well,
because that's
that.
how you break collarbones.
But this was like a prior Aaron Rodgers rule.
Yeah, any contact
Fucking
to the
Aaron
head.
Rodgers.
So, like, it was obviously light. It wasn't, like, aggressive. Probably might have been an accident, but it still touched his head. So that's just how it is. You
I
gotta
didn't know that was
control your arms.
I didn't know that was the the law right there. Like
Yeah.
that was the word on it.
And I think that's why it's not as big of a controversy as the other one, because it's like actually the right call.
No, I think more than this one, it was more that D Ford was off.
Yeah.
You know, and literally they got an interception right off Gronk's hands, right into I don't know who caught it. Was it Reed or not Reed? Barry. Was
Yeah, I think it was Eric Berry caught it.
But the Chiefs had a pretty shitty first half, so they could have easily won this game if they would have scored another touchdown. I mean, that's obvious, but their first half wasn't good.
So now, watching the game, like I feel like the Patriots should have been up more than 2 touchdowns at the end of the half. Like I feel like they should have been up like 3 or 4 at the end.
Yeah, both teams were pretty shitty the first half. They looked pretty slow and out of place. But then, like you said, at the end of the third, like beginning of the fourth quarter, it just picked up out of nowhere, and both teams were just fucking slinging it.
Yeah, this was the first game the Chiefs had all year that they didn't score in the first quarter, I think. So
Now, would you guys say this is another episode in Tom Brady's GOAT story?
for sure,
He's 100% the greatest player of all time.
he played phenomenal.
See, here's my thing though, is that he pretty much had 3 interceptions. this game.
Still won.
He only had 2, but that one got nullified. He had one right in the end zone. He almost had a game-losing interception.
He also had a game-winning drive.
Listen, Tom Brady's a
Exactly.
GOAT. I'm just saying that.
And you go into the loudest stadium in the league. It's pretty clutch.
So I'm just saying,
As
Tom
an
Brady,
underdog.
Tom Brady, he did good, but I just don't think it was compared to like Tom Brady. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
On
I
a Tom
mean,
Brady standard, it
Could have
was.
destroyed them more, but he still got the W. He's going to. Is he going to the Lakers?
See, here's
That'd
the
be
problem.
hype.
Here's the problem: is that people then started thinking, is Kyrie going to leave the Celtics and go play with LeBron and the Lakers? I hope not. I really
I
do.
hope
Let's get him
so.
and Kevin Love over
Yeah, that'd be
guys. Rebuild
sick.
the Cavs.
I tell you what, trade Lonzo and Brandon Ingram to the Cavs, and you can have Kevin Love. I'd do that deal tomorrow.
Kevin Love and what's his fucking face? Henny Man.
J.R. Smith.
J.R.
Does he
Smith.
still play?
Yeah,
Is he good?
well, technically no, he hasn't played because he's away from the team because the team won't play him, and so he gets pissed because he doesn't get any playing time. So they pretty much said, hey, J.R. Smith is his name. They said, hey, J.R., just stay at home. We'll pay you, just stay at home. Collect your your $15 million paycheck and just sit at home.
Maybe he's helping that kid.
Relationship advice.
Especially
Whatever
for
you
Lucas.
want.
Luke's got a new haircut and it's official. I'm now the ugliest one of the podcast. So
I mean, it sucks it took you this long to realize that, but whatever. That's your own loss.
all right, guys. Well, let's get into some quick fire, okay? Because I actually got some for today. Only 3 though. Only 3. 4 actually. I just thought of another one off the top of my head. First one. Should Bill Belichick and Brady retire together?
They should retire together, walk off in the sunset holding hands.
Chance.
No, Belichick could win 20 more Super Bowls without Brady.
All right.
I just want to be romantic on that.
Will/should Rob Gronkowski retire after the Super Bowl?
150,000%. He should retire.
Yeah, the dude's a walking corpse. He needs to retire for his fucking health.
Okay. Third one. Should New Orleans let go of this game already?
Yes.
No.
Final question. Should pineapple go on pizza?
Oh, you really got me on that one. I've had pineapple on pizza once. It wasn't bad, but I preferred not to have pineapple on pizza.
Chance.
I love pineapple on pizza, dude. Pineapple and ham are like the best toppings on pizza.
Since all 3 of us think Gronkowski's going to retire, because I also think he'll retire directly after this game. Do you think they're just going to run him into the ground? Literally, they're just going to be like, Gronk, this is your last game. Those knees are they belong to the New England Patriots.
He might go up to Belichick and say, "Let me fucking demolish my body for you one last time,
Put me in as
master."
fullback and put me on the goal line. I'm fucking
Yeah, let me
driving in
redeem
there.
myself at safety. Put me back there.
Dude, could you imagine them putting Gronk at fullback? Just boom, right in. I could see it.
I'm sure it would work.
Dude, that's what I want to see. I want to see Gronk get 69 touchdowns in this one game. Did you guys also see that? I think some reporter asked him about the number 69.
It was fucking Dave Portnoy, the leader, my fucking idol, the founder of Barstool Sports. the
Oh, that was
fucking
him? That's who
goat.
did it?
Yeah, they snuck
Yeah.
in. With fake
They got
disguises.
kicked out. They're banned from that arena, pretty much from anywhere in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure they're still going to the Super Bowl, so it's going to be interesting to see
Didn't
what
that
happens with that.
PFT commentator or whatever get fucking arrested?
Yeah, they didn't get arrested. They just got detained.
Oh,
but
detained.
they were questioned like by the SWAT team, by they had the FBI question these dudes because they thought they had like more intentions for sneaking into the media day than just like trying to be funny.
I mean, hey, in today's day and age, you never
But
know.
yeah, that was Barstool Sports asking Gronk why he like 69.
But they disguised it behind a little girl question, saying a little girl from a kindergarten class.
Oh no, it was PFT asked the question, but yeah, but
I
Portnoy
know
was there.
that Dave was interrogating the Rams. I remember he got in Sue's face and threatened that if he hurt, he said, "I know you're a dirty player, and Ndamukong Suh. If you hurt Tom Brady, there's going to be hell to pay."
Yeah, he was talking to Goff because Goff's a big Barstool guy, so it was funny about that. And whenever they got arrested, he was just screaming like Hitler, Hitler, Hitler. Like he was explaining on his podcast earlier. It was so funny. He just lost his mind. They're the fucking
He was just
best.
going crazy.
Yeah.
I thought you were more for fucking take out contact and just throw in the
No,
line.
I don't want to take out contact. That's just why you can't do this because you would have to take on contact. You can't have Zdeno Chara, who's like 6'10", 260, 80 pounds or whatever, hitting 5'1", whatever into the boards.
That's exactly why I think that they shouldn't be mixed. You'd have so many legal problems and protests and shit. It would just fucking ruin sports entirely. It'd be as bad as everything else in the world is. Sports is an escape from all that bullshit. Don't bring the fucking politics and the feminist bullshit into professional sports. Leave it as it is.
See, I think women clearly can be just as skilled.
No, I think so too.
They are
They can
very
be
good
just
hockey
as
players.
skilled
I'm not
hockey
saying they're
or-
not as skilled.
or
I'm just,
WNBA or
I'm saying just
football
look
for
at the
that fact.
ratings.
It's different, yeah.
Put money into more women's sports, make them more popular,
Mhm.
and then maybe we'll talk. I know that women's tennis is more popular than any other women fucking sport. I'd rather watch that than fucking the WNBA.
That's because you have Serena Williams, the female goat.
Maybe she got beat. She got beat by some Japanese girl that we
And-
talked about in like episode 3 of this podcast.
I was like, yeah. Remember Luke's went off about women and how he hates all of them.
No. What the fuck, man? I
Okay,
defended tennis.
You defended tennis, not Serena Williams. No, I think I mean like for NBA at least, like or basketball, like women can be just as good as basketball as men can, but I mean it's a fact that more men in the NBA can dunk and have quicker speeds than women do, and that's why I like to see big dunks and I like to see
You like to see bows flying, man.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
to
to
see
see-
Draymond throwing bows. If Draymond hits a woman, man, he's got a lawsuit coming
I
against him.
do not I do not see I don't think I could see a girl try to post up like Boogie Cousins and just fucking take him down to the post.
Yeah,
don't think
so I
could
mean,
see that.
obviously it's not going to happen for any sport, but it's still like an interesting topic because they have the skill.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of basketball, two big
Thumbs up.
another W there.
Eating W's.
All right. Well, Chance, was there any more last minute news?
Nope. Fuck Roger Goodell. Fuck those referees. Hope everyone enjoys the Super Bowl this week. I'll be drunk. I won't give a fuck.
Who dat?
Who dat?
Are you
Next
gonna be-
week will be chanceless.
I was about to say you're not gonna be at the next week's part.
No, I'll be on the beaches of California,
Damn, dude, we're gonna have to.
You know what's legal in California?
fucking riding your skateboard down the sidewalk.
Yeah, that too. Something else too, but
nude beaches, dude. You can go to as many nude beaches as you want.
I know. I'm
Show off that schlong of yours.
gonna put it in a hot dog bun and fucking walk around squirting ketchup on it.
Yeah,
yikes.
post that on the Twitter. And what's that Twitter, Chance? If people want to see your schlong in a hot dog bun,
Oh, it'll be on at Trash Deer Sports.
at Trash Deer Sports. People, go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube.
It's literally
Spotify.
free to subscribe or to follow.
Yeah,
You can mute notifications. Just give us that fucking subscription.
You know
Luke's
you
is
want those
jonesing.
updates.
Lucas is jonesing for it. Like he's jonesing for them W's on Fortnite.
That's what it is, man.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to us. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Now let's get into a serious topic here, Lucas. The halftime show. Good or bad?
Awful.
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 You're not a Maroon 5 guy?
No one is.
Dude, I don't mind Maroon 5. It's not bad.
No one likes them. And regardless if you do or not, they didn't play well. Adam Levine didn't sound good live. Their stage show was boring. I just thought it was just awful.
We're not a fan. What about whenever Travis Scott came on with who was the other one that came on?
Big Boy or something?
Big Boy, something like that. Yeah.
Well, it was a joke because for weeks they're teasing we're going to have SpongeBob in the Super Bowl. We're going to have the halftime show like featuring SpongeBob and Squidward, and everyone loves the Sweet Victory song. That's the only reason why probably half the people watch the halftime show, myself included, because I thought they were going to do something like live with that song. But they just used like an intro of Squidward saying, and now someone, whatever. And then it started to play the Sweet Victory song, and it transitioned into fucking sicko mode, and Travis Scott comes out of the sky. It just ruined it.
You weren't a fan.
No. And Sickomo's an overrated song. Travis Scott's overrated.
Dude, you can't say Sicko Mode's overrated.
It is.
It is a good song.
No, it's not.
Okay, now, I went to Travis Scott concert live. I see why now the music was so extremely loud. Because him performing with not overly loud music was horrible. That was not enjoyable at all.
You can't have people like that style at a Super Bowl show. Like, you need singers.
Well, do you think it came to the fact that no one wanted to do the Super Bowl? Because I feel like they tried to get a bunch of people, and all of them said no.
I heard like one person saying no, and that was Cardi B. Like, who fuck cares about Cardi B?
Everyone cares
It's not like
about
they try to
Cardi
get
B.
like the Rolling Stones or like Metallica or like a band They tried a couple other rappers.
Yeah, but you want to. I feel like they always try to go with someone more. Not. I don't want to say that. Obviously, like Metallica isn't popular or anything like that. But
I know,
someone who's
yeah,
more
exactly. And
mainstream popular.
that's for sure why, but it sucks because they can't perform live. Like Justin Timberlake did amazing. Lady Gaga did amazing. Those are just like two of the recent ones I can remember.
I like to see Justin Timberlake again. That'd be one for the ages.
Like there's just so many other better ways to do it.
Who, if you could pick an ideal performer, who is it?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't-
if you had to pick 3 artists, who are they?
Oh, fuck, man. Not even just being biased towards like hard rock and metal. Metallica would be the perfect halftime show. Everyone likes Metallica. Everyone knows at least one song,
Okay, yeah, probably. I'm
They-
sure if I heard him.
and they only play like a minute of a few songs. You can easily do that with a bunch of Metallica songs. And their stage show would be phenomenal, and they know how to play instruments. I'm pretty sure everyone on Maroon 5 like fake played. I don't think anyone actually played their instruments on stage.
I bet you.
It just didn't line up sometimes.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, you're out there, and it's mainly for the. It's not for the actual performance.
But it's
for
joke, and
it's
it
for
didn't,
the
they didn't
looking
sound good. I don't fucking know.
Dude, mine's the hologram of Michael Jackson, the hologram of Tupac, and then some other rapper from like the 90s. That right there, the perfect trifecta.
You just need stage shows, and Maroon 5, they can't put on a stage show. Travis Scott can't do like a stage show.
the Muse.
Like,
That's who you need.
the Muse would be sick
Because they always put on a good stage.
exactly. That's what you need. You need entertainment, not just popularity.
So I just think it's bullshit. But once again, now the Lakers are kind of fucked because they pretty much tried to trade all their young players. They're not going to trade their young players because the Pelicans won't accept the offer. And it's going to be LeBron James with a bunch of people who don't want to be with LeBron James. So there's been pictures coming out from the Pacers game where LeBron's sitting at the end and there's like 4 empty seats
Yeah.
and then just all the players are just stacked right there.
Well, didn't they have a terrible game? Like,
Oh,
didn't they
they-
lose by like 50?
They lost by it was LeBron James' worst loss is 42 points.
Yeah. And he went out and bragged about how he did well.
Well, he bragged that he reached 32,000 points.
Yeah.
Which is he's the 5th player to ever do it.
But right after you had the worst loss of your career, it just looks bad as a team. So I'm sure like the guys on the Lakers don't like LeBron.
I would not see. I think LeBron's great, but yeah, I think he is difficult. I think unless he wants you to be there, it would be difficult to play with him.
He's a fucking alcoholic. You see him drinking wine, like he has to drink wine wherever he goes. You see him on the bench the other day, like in a bottle, drinking wine.
Dude, he's allowed. He's LeBron James.
Why can't you go a couple hours without wine? He
Dude,
walks
probably-
into the stadium with
you realize he
wine.
probably does that shit just so that way people will talk
He
about
gives
it.
his kids wine. He's a fucking alcoholic.
Lucas, have you ever underage drank right now?
Barely.
Barely, Lucas. That's a lie right there. Lucas, have your parents never said to you, "Here, have a sip of this. Have a sip of this beer"?
Not really.
Your dad never.
My
was
parents
like,
weren't much drinkers.
Okay, I guess many times my dad's been like, "Here, try this beer."
I'm just saying, if I was a gazillionaire like LeBron, I was the best athlete in the NBA, I wouldn't be drinking wine on the bench. That's just a bad look.
Dude, he just does that shit just so
It's
people talk
fucked
about
up.
it. Because guess what? He can do it, and no one else can.
It's still wild.
Dude, he's LeBron James, man. Don't bring your barstool hatred in here. El Presidente, you cuck. I said it, Lucas. I said it.
All right. Next topic.
Tell your wife, your kids. All right, Chance. Let us hear about your LA reporting.
Yeah, so while I was over there trying to get the scoop on the LeBron story, it was my first time in California. Fucking first time ever going west of Pennsylvania, to be honest with you. I went over there, and it's a totally different country, honestly. There's talks like a couple years ago that California wanted to separate from America. I honestly think they should, because it's totally fucking different over there. Started off, walked off the plane, got off the plane, fucking walked out of LAX. Just a dude sitting there smoking a blunt. 2 cop cars literally like 2 feet away, just don't give a fuck.
What
So,
a place.
That was my initial reaction of California. Got into a taxi because we thought it'd be cheaper than Uber for some reason. Tried explaining to this Saudi Arabian dude about the Amish people of Pennsylvania. He didn't believe they exist.
How'd that get brought up?
I don't even fucking remember.
Yeah, that's a great question.
You're just like, let me tell you about these
So
Amish people.
So we couldn't check into our beach house until like 12 o'clock, and we didn't get there. We got there at 9 in the morning. So we sat in the hotel or at the airport and got drunk for 3 hours at this pizza place. And
Damn.
so we were a little buzzed by the time we got to this taxi. And I don't know what brought it up. Fucking every Uber/taxi we got into was like a broken record with Blainer just fucking talking about the gas price difference and how Western PA was -25 with the wind chill when we left and shit.
I'm guessing they probably every taxi driver was like, "Where are you guys from?"
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
pretty much what it was?
It-
Where are you guys from?
Everyone was like, "Are you from Cali?" "No." "Where are you from?" "Pittsburgh." "Oh, really? Where's that at?" "Pennsylvania." "Oh, I've never been there." Then Blair would be like, "Yeah, it's fucking -25 there. Gas is $2.50 when it's $5 here." So we fucking, I don't know, first night there, it was probably the best night, honestly, because we were drunk all fucking day, and I don't even know what the fuck happened. We were bar hopping, went to this Mexican fucking bar, had this shitty Mexican beer. Beers, by the way, are $9 for a draft beer over there. Everything
Fuck
is
that.
so expensive.
Ouch.
Liquor, though, is cheap as fuck in the supermarkets. You can get a half gallon of liquor for $20. Anything.
Anything you want.
Anything.
$20.
Top end liquor, $20.
Damn.
But if you go to a bar, a mixed drink is like $15 for a single, which is bullshit. But anyways, we fucking get in this Uber. I was hammered. I ended up paying for all the Ubers home at the end of the night because Blainer was so drunk. He always put in the wrong directions. Like he couldn't remember where our beach house was. Like one time he put in a direction to DC, Washington D.C. And we got in the Uber, and the guy looked at him and said, "Are you sure you want to go to the District of Columbia, sir? That'll be $1,000. And Blainer's like, "What?
God.
No, I want to go here. I want to go 2 miles away." So
Jeez.
I was like the designated get the driver to get us home fucking guy at the end of the night. And for some reason, this Uber driver probably took advantage of us. He just kept driving around, ended up racking me $69 for an Uber. Pretty fucking wild. We were only 2 miles away from the house, but we drove all through. I guess he gave us a tour and shit.
I took a 35-mile Uber one time, and it was $60.
This was like a 2-mile Uber.
That's fucked.
But he told us about this bar that we should check out because apparently that's where all the celebrities and the attractive women go to. It was called the Bungalow, and it was in like Santa Monica. So we decided to check it out. This was literally the first day. I'm still wearing like what I'm wearing now, which is like sweatpants and a hoodie because I was on the plane, and I never got a chance to change. Blainer, meanwhile, this entire trip is wearing beach flip-flops, like swimming trunks, and like a fleece button-up beach shirt. The entire
he is.
trip. While it's like
Was
winter.
Was his gut out?
No.
Oh.
He's actually in pretty good shape.
Well, you know what I mean by gut
Yeah.
out. You know, I mean, obviously,
No.
he's going to be a state trooper.
He
so.
looked like an idiot because everyone else is wearing winter coats and shit over there.
Well, how
Because
warm was it, though?
it was 55 degrees with
But
30
for
mile
them,
per hour
it's probably
winds.
like 0.
Oh, 55 for them is like -10.
Yeah.
Oh.
For us, that's like, oh, that's an awesome. Like, that's shorts and a hoodie.
That's a
weather.
good
Like I
day.
said, everywhere we went, he was getting stares because he looked like a fuck. Because he's wearing beach shit in the middle of February. Like, we went to the beach and the water was like sub-zero. It was fucking cold as hell. But anyways, we went to this fucking bar that we had no business being in because this is some high-end shit. You walk into this bar and it's like you're in the fucking 80s. They got like pianos everywhere. Nobody is on their fucking cell phone. There's probably 400 people here. Nobody is on their cell phone but Blainer. Like, you could just tell that we were completely out of place. And the liquor there was like, Blainer bought 3 drinks. It was $60 for
Jesus.
one round. And it
Wow.
was the worst liquor I've ever had. They had nothing that I've ever heard of. It was fucking disgusting. But anyways, we met an Australian guy there, furniture salesman from Australia, 36-year-old.
Nice.
We were going to take him back to our crib. Blainer, so I paid for the Uber. Blainer somehow got in the front seat and changed the direction somehow. This Chinese guy in his minivan changed the directions to a pizza place. No one knew. We fucking drove around in a big circle. And then the guy got lost, and we drove up it was like an off-ramp for, like the interstate. He drove up it the wrong way, and we all thought we were going to fucking die. And then he drops us off at our location. Turns out it was literally across the street from the bar. It was a $20 Uber that literally drove us across the street after all.
So you guys made a huge ass loop just to go across the street.
Huge ass loop.
How
Cost me
pissed were
like
you?
$20. Dude, I was so
Dude, I
pissed.
guarantee like Uber drivers in these popular like tourist areas, they do it on purpose.
Oh,
They have to.
it was some weird ass Chinese guy. He was laughing the whole fucking time.
Yeah,
like,
you don't know any better. Like you could make loops. You go down 20 side streets. You might think that's the right way, but he knows it's not.
So, anyways, we
That's
get
fucked.
out. The pizza place is fucking closed, believe it or not. So
Damn.
all of that for nothing.
$20 down the drain
So
for nothing.
the fucking Australian guy's like, oh, let's go in this other bar. I'll buy you a fucking drink. So we go in. I get yelled at because I have a hat on. This is a high-end fucking restaurant. Can't wear fucking baseball caps, apparently. So I'm pissed. I sit down, look at the bar menu. A little fucking martini is like $22 or some shit. Like, complete bullshit. I'm like, I'm not getting a fucking drink here. Just give me a water. So then after they fucking drank, I was ready to go home. So we fucking went home. The Australian guy this is his first time in America, he said. So the day before he was in Las Vegas, and then the next day he was in LA. That's what he got as his like American experience.
What a
Damn,
guy.
What an American experience right there.
We tried explaining Western PA to him too. He said at some point he might try and come over this way.
You
so.
can't explain Western PA.
Get him
It
on the
says-
pod, bro.
He gave us his business card. We were supposed to hang out with him for the Super Bowl, but his like phone didn't work in America, so we had to email him, and it took him 5 days to reply. And by that time, he was already in Australia.
What do you reply with?
I don't even fucking.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mates. Had a good time that night. Would have liked to get together for the Super Bowl or something. Like, phone wasn't working. Had to go back to Australia. Like,
Dude, he was probably selling furniture.
he was there for a furniture convention. Have you ever heard of something like that?
I could believe it. I've never heard of it nor been to one, but I could definitely see it. I could see it and believe it.
Like, Huska has his business card, and it's like furniture trader on it. Like, it's like the weirdest shit.
So does he buy like high-end furniture?
Yeah, we looked at his website. It was pretty nice. It's
Is
some
it
nice
legit?
shit. Yeah, he told us that if we ever went to Australia, we could stay at his place. So,
Ooh, trash year takes down under.
yeah, so...
Trash your goes down under. Hey-o.
So that was my first night. Every other night was basically the same. Just did some touristy shit. Went to a lot of bars. Met a homeless guy by the name of Popeye, who claims he was on the show Ripley's Believe It or Not in 2009, and after that he was homeless for the last 10 years.
Was he a guy who made his eyes pop out?
No, he like pulled his upper lip over his fucking nose.
Oh.
And he did that.
Yeah,
for you guys?
he did it for us. Then he rooted through our garbage and skated away on a skateboard. He was like some 60-year-old dude.
Dude, what a
Sick.
badass.
But we ran into him 3 different times, which is funny as fuck.
And what happened every time?
No, the same shit. He just digging through trash, skating around, bothering people. Another time we got out of an Uber and there was a homeless guy literally taking the entire bag of trash out of our trash can and walking away with it. So,
Where were you guys staying at?
Venice Beach.
Like at a hotel or?
No, we were in a beach house.
That's
Oh, you guys
dope.
rented like a beach house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. True shit.
Yeah.
True shit. Okay. I didn't know if it was like one of those or if it was like a Airbnb kind of deal or what.
Well, we had 3 different Airbnbs, but every one of them canceled on Blainer like every fucking time for whatever reason. And
Really?
They never told him that like they canceled either, and they never refunded his money, so he'd like have to call him bitch.
Jesus.
So he said, "Fuck it, I'm just getting a beach house off this like legit website or something."
Oh, well, hey, fair enough.
But yeah, saw some Mexican guy get arrested on the beach. I don't know what he did, but there was like 6 cops like beating him. Saw a bunch of skateboard kids trying to fight the cops for beating him. It was interesting.
Dude, so LA was just an experience.
It literally, I would recommend anyone to go there. I would never live there. The cheapest house that we saw you could buy was $1 million, and it was like a 1-story, 1-bedroom, 1-bath house. Like,
It's crazy, like what popularity and demand like does to an area.
oh, dude, the place is a shithole. Like,
Oh,
it
I
looks
believe
like
it.
shit everywhere. The buildings look like shit. I don't know why anyone would want to live there, but vacationing there is pretty fun. But you gotta have like a lot of money, because I spent $600, and Blainer spent $2,600.
He spent $2,600.
$2,600
What a guy.
On what?
alcohol and food and Ubers.
Dude, how? How do you
Dude,
spend that
LA's
much?
so expensive.
I can't. Like I said, he bought 1 round of drinks for $60 one night.
Like, but did he not even think to pace himself?
We would get fucking plastered at the beach house before we even went out. He drank probably 1.5 gallons of rum himself, because we bought 2 half-gallons of rum and he drank them himself that whole week. And then after that, he probably had a 1/2 gallon between every bar he went to.
How long was he in the academy for?
7 months.
So he's probably due for a binge.
Oh, he hadn't been drunk in that 7
Yeah.
months.
So
he was definitely due for
there
a
you
binge.
go.
He had a liquor drink on the plane. We took off at Pittsburgh at 4 in the morning or some shit. He had a drink at 5 in the morning on the plane. Liquor drink.
Damn, Blainer, the truest, the realest.
He's the goat. It was a good time. I would go back. I'd probably go back in like September or something, August or September, when it's like nice there and you can actually hang out at the beach.
You can actually do shit as opposed to just drinking and apparently blowing $2,600 on liquor drinks.
My favorite part of the whole trip though was Koreatown, man.
Koreatown.
Koreatown. Place is fucking banging. Beautiful broads, Korean broads. All the signs are in Korean. You can't read anything, but it's like a different country. We went to a Korean barbecue. It was fucking the best food I've ever had in my life.
That's awesome.
Really?
Best food. Would recommend anyone ever going to Cali, go to Koreatown, have Korean barbecue. I had like these chicken taco things. I don't even know what was on them. They were the best tacos I've ever eaten in my life. Hands down.
So now your favorite food is now Korean barbecue.
Fuck
That's where we're
yeah,
at
dude.
right
I
now.
would eat it again. I got like this. They ordered this beef. It was like beef and rice. They brought out this thing. It was like a whole beef shredded up just for one person and like a big bowl of rice. And they brought out all these appetizers they gave us for free. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Damn.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you had a good time.
So did I. I missed you guys, but
It's all right. We missed you, but life goes
Life
on.
goes on.
You got to live your life.
It's
Lucas
the way
has
of the
to live his
road.
life.
it's the fucking way she goes, boys.
Well, Chance, now that you're back, we can talk about some spicy NFL topics or football topics in general. And the first one we're going to start with, no one else other than our boy from Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown.
Don't ever associate me with Antonio Brown again.
He wants out of Pittsburgh. He officially has requested a trade from the Pittsburgh Steelers by Adam Schefter. He reported on that. He also went to Instagram for a couple of posts. All right, so first thing AB posted was a video saying, Steeler Nation, thank you for the big 9 years. Time to move on and forward. ... Peace sign, hashtag new demands. And the post is pretty much just a video of all of his highlights in Pittsburgh over the past couple years. Then the next post, which came out today being Wednesday, was just pretty much a bunch of pictures of all of his stats throughout the years. It's pretty much since 2001, he's had the most targets, receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns.
2011.
2000, what did I say, 2010?
One.
You said
Oh,
dude.
sorry, 2011. Just another, just all these stats saying how good he is.
And the caption is 30 plus and still ... open for business. Hashtag. Wait, before I get into this hashtag, anyone listening, even you two, please explain to me what this hashtag means. Hashtag make another AB and hashtag not for long.
And
What the fuck?
Hashtag NFL. You forgot about
What
the NFL.
the fuck is make another AB?
It's simple. Okay, listen. I'm going to explain it. Wait. He had one more post.
Okay.
One more post. Let me do the one more post.
It's
and we'll
even
circle
better.
back. So then the next post, which was also today, being Wednesday, he posted a cartoon picture of him with his dumbass bleach mustache, his blue and bleached, I don't even know what you call that.
Hair.
Hair, sure.
Yeah.
And it says open for business. And then it says all fans caption below next city ...
I commented, you are a clown. It is baffling how a 30-plus-year-old can act like a 6-year-old. You're a joke. You will be forgotten. You will be nothing without the Steelers. Bet.
Did anyone reply to you, Lucas?
I got 4 likes on it.
Did you really? Where'd you post that on Facebook?
Facebook.
I
Ooh.
commented on the Instagram and told him he needs to go to Shutter Island for fucking mental asylum.
We'll get into that, but
All right,
continue.
so okay.
Wait, I got one more tweet that he put out on February 3rd that says, Steeler Nation, retweet if you AB in Pittsburgh.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
No, I saw this one today. I don't know why I didn't see it before, but
Okay, so needless to say, Antonio
If
Brown,
you
he
AB.
wants out. He wants out of Pittsburgh. He's been here 9 years. He still has 3 years left on his contract. If the Steelers do not trade him by March 17th, they have to pay, I think, a $2.5 million bonus.
Yeah.
So the Steelers, if they're going to move him, will probably want to move him before then. We'll have a whole discussion about this. I also have a couple possible trade scenarios I want to get your guys' opinion on. But first, Lucas, we'll circle back to hashtag make another AB.
Yep.
I think this goes to the fact that people are saying that Antonio Brown is replaceable. And I think this is him saying look at all my stats, especially since it came along with the picture saying, look at all my stats. You can't just replace me like that. That's why he's saying hashtag make another AB.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler. I think
I mean,
he's
okay,
saying,
that makes sense.
I
but-
think he's saying he's like calling out the Steelers like, "Hey, draft another me." Or that's what he's saying. Or find
okay,
another
that
me.
makes sense.
Which, regardless on how you feel about him, he is still a top level he is the best wide receiver, if not.
Yeah,
he is at least in the top 3.
Which makes this thing even worse because you're the best in the league at being a professional athlete
you're the
of
best.
your position.
You're the best. Your best receiver for catching footballs. Yes.
Professionally.
Professionally, yes, correct.
The way he's acting is not professional at all. And it just baffles me how you can act like this, making like insane amount of money, playing for one of the best teams ever in the history of sports, one of the best franchises. It's literally speechless. It triggers me so hard every time I see his
Lucas-
name pop up.
Lucas is so pissed right now.
I want to be like in a room with him and just talk to him. I want to hear like why he's doing all this. I want to know why he's acting like this or how this is even possible to act like this or think like this.
Nobody fucking.
It
knows.
blows my mind.
Literally, he's on a contending team with a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's still receiving the most targets in the NFL, regardless of Juju being opposite of him on the field, and he's making top 4 wide receiver money. It still fucking baffles me.
So, I think this comes down to that. I think from a report that I read today, or I think Bud Dupree came out commenting saying that,
Yeah, great source.
I mean, he is in the locker room, and I mean, he would know, honestly. That apparently the main thing is between him and Ben, and not even him and Tomlin, right?
Well, his agent said he doesn't want to. AB doesn't want to be the scapegoat to all of Ben and Tomlin's problems anymore because he thinks he's getting blamed for doing all this shit whenever he's not doing it. But in reality, he is doing this shit.
I don't think anyone really I don't think we ever came on here the entire football season and said the problem is Antonio Brown. I mean,
No,
whenever he started acting
it
up,
never happened. No one's blaming him until he started acting up.
no one is doubting one bit of his skills.
Yeah, the Steelers' fucking downfall has not been Antonio Brown's play on the field. It's been his fucking actions off the field and at practice. Like he everything he's done himself. No one has forced him to do any of this shit. And it's fucking, like Lucas said, it's mind-boggling. Like no one understands what the fuck is going through this guy's head right now.
Well, now, Chance, didn't you say about how there was a report or something done about how AB might actually be showing early signs of CTE?
Yeah, so I read a blog last night. It was interesting. 3 years ago, during the playoff game against Cincinnati, Vontaze Burfict literally fucking destroyed Antonio Brown's head. And it cost him, and Antonio Brown wasn't able to play the next week in Denver. Ever since then, he's shown signs of mental illness. Slowly but surely, early signs of CTE, which is like constant mood swings, crazy behavior, outbursts, all that kind of stuff. Because before that, he was a pretty down-to-earth guy. You know, he came from nothing and he made his own way into the NFL and became the number 1 wide receiver. But, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. If anyone's ever watched the movie Concussion with Will Smith, a lot of the fucking shit they talk about in that movie, it sounds like AB has CTE.
It has to be something mentally wrong with him. There's no way anyone can act like this unjustified.
Which, I mean, that's a sad thing. I mean, which is a
It
sad
is.
side
It's sad if that's actually what's going on. It's super sad that it's making you act like this.
Because especially, I mean, he's only 30 years old. Like, that's still so young. And, I mean, he has kids and a wife and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's horrible. But
I think what honestly makes his position worse is he's doing it in the wrong city to act like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, Pittsburgh is like ride or die with their sports teams. And when you look at a team like the Penguins, who have Sidney Crosby, who is the best fucking player in the NHL, as is Antonio Brown is one of the best players in football, Sidney Crosby behaves the way that a superstar athlete should. Everyone should model their fucking selves after Sidney Crosby. He has no negative headlines. He's constantly in the news for good shit.
Zero social media.
He's
never
all-
had
oh.
a second of it.
He's all in for the team and not himself, and he's always been like that. Even when he was living with the fucking owner / fucking former teammate Mary Lemieux, like, he didn't have any sort of, like, cockiness to him or anything, you know? Like, he was basically groomed to be, like, the next GOAT.
yeah, but I feel like that's such a different comparison. Like, it's hockey to football.
Yeah,
but
okay.
he's a superstar athlete on
Yeah.
the highest pedestal in a worldwide sport compared to Antonio Brown, who's on a pedestal in one of
But football's
another.
bigger than hockey.
Name another big wide receiver, Julio Jones.
Yeah,
Name one thing he's ever done bad.
I agree with that.
That's what I mean. Like there
But
are
now if
so
you
many
said-
better ways to act.
Now, if you said Julio Jones or Odell Beckham, who do you think is more famous?
It depends on probably
Odell.
OBJ
It's-
because he's in the New
I
York
would say
market.
he's more famous. He's more known because he acts like an idiot.
And he had that
But
catch.
him,
What I'm saying is, I don't think Antonio Brown. I think Antonio Brown cares about. He wants to be big. He wants to have the clout. He wants to be. I want to be the shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about winning as much as I think.
no, exactly.
He
He's a
just wants
selfish
to
prick.
be.
That's what I'm saying. He's the
himself.
opposite of what a superstar should fucking be.
Yeah.
Well, no,
you're
I-
100% right. He doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care about the team. He only cares about himself. That's the sad thing. That's what's wrong with him.
I'm just saying, look at the Patriots, who just won their 6th fucking Super Bowl in the last fucking. I don't even know how many
What,
fucking.
19 years? Is that
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
there?
something like that. They don't have anybody on their team that acts like this.
Yeah, because Bill Belichick just gets rid of them.
Everyone on
And-
that team is all in for the team and winning Super Bowls.
Well, plus, like I said, last week I think I said it. It's Tom Brady also facilitates in that. Is that your best player, your star player, falls in behind the coach. Imagine if Tom Brady acted half as bad as Brown is acting right now. There's no way they would be on a 20-year dynasty.
No, and Belichick would have got rid of fucking Tom Brady.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I said, when I was comparing AB to Sidney Crosby, I'm just saying, throughout sports, look at a perspective of how a team leader and all pro fucking player performs like against each other. Sidney Crosby, no negative headlines, always in the community, doing charity events and shit. Antonio Brown shows up 3 hours late to Children's Hospital, and instead of doing anything, just writes them a $25,000 check. You know, that's the difference between them. Sidney Crosby donates sticks, equipment, all this shit to fucking kids.
Charities.
Antonio Brown takes pictures of himself on fucking Instagram and just smiles the whole time. Starts drama with his teammates, fucking skips practices. It's just bullshit. And his ass just needs to go. The fucking Steelers just need to clean the fucking locker room and remove the cancer.
So now, with, I guess, kind of bigger picture now. So if you look back at the Seahawks, a couple years ago, they had Richard Sherman, they had a couple other, I don't want to say loudmouth, but personalities on the defense that kind of seemed to defy Richard Sherman, or not Richard Sherman, Pete Carroll. So they now got rid of those guys, and now they're back at the playoffs, and they looked pretty formidable in their playoff push and stuff. So you think the Steelers are going to go through a phase where they're going to get rid of Brown and Bell and all that extra kind of, I don't want to say trouble players, but the more toxic players, I guess.
They are literally a cancer to the team. Sherman was a cancer to the Seahawks. Brown and Bell are cancer to the Steelers. What do you do to get rid of cancer? You cut it out, and then you're free of cancer.
Is that medically how it's
Yeah,
done?
that's how it's
Yes.
done.
Just ask our medical
Technically.
friend, Evan.
Yeah.
Get him on
But
the
you
phone
know what
right
I mean, though? You get rid of him, your problems are solved.
No, but I don't think the Steelers will have the same success as the Seahawks. I feel like Pete Carroll is the kind of coach that could do that, whereas Mike Tomlin isn't. Mike Tomlin has lost the locker room 100%.
But, even if we lose AB and we have a mediocre season, we had a mediocre season with him. We don't win with him. What's the difference if we win without him?
Oh, I'm
or
all
we don't
for
win
getting
without
rid of
him?
him, but you got to get rid of Tomlin too.
See, I cut Tomlin a break in the fact that the three best players, the three leaders on the team, are Ben, Bell, and AB, and all three. I mean, Ben probably cared about winning more earlier in his career,
I think
but now,
Ben still 100% cares about winning. I
Yeah,
think
I
he's
think
still a team guy.
The only reason he's still there is to win a Super Bowl.
I mean, I think he wants to win a Super, but I don't think he necessarily. How can I put it? He doesn't play as nice anymore. Like it's kind of more of a, hey, I'm the Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm here to win. You guys also just kind of got to do everything. If not, I'm gonna call you out and I'm gonna bitch you out on my radio station.
He
which-
definitely needs to shut the fuck up.
I agree.
That's a big problem. He needs to shut the fuck up, but everyone on that team needs to shut the fuck up.
And then Bell obviously just cared about Bell, which I understand he wanted paid. That's perfectly within his right to wanting paid. No problem with that. Because the franchise tag, I understand, all that. But then he sat out, so he didn't really care about winning as much then. Then he obviously wants paid at this point.
At this point, Bell doesn't even matter.
Bell looks like a fucking prince compared to Brown.
What he did makes 100% sense, but it didn't affect the team either way. If he was on the field, they would have had the same record this year.
And then Brown, he got paid. He is still being force-fed the ball. Like, literally force-fed. We talked about it, how Ben has thrown so many interceptions force-feeding it to Brown. Juju's on the other side, so it's not like he's getting doubled. It's not like he's getting doubled and tripled. It's maybe just doubled. And you're still complaining. Like, what more do you want?
That's why no one can understand this fucking this move.
And so I'm saying I give Tomlin a break in that your three best players, like, look at those three best players, and none of them act like true leaders in the locker room. So that's why I give him some break. I mean, I do understand, yes, Tomlin is on thin ice, and he could be a way better coach. I'm just saying I do give him a slight break in that fact.
But that's the problem. That team has zero leadership at all. There's not a single fucking leader in that locker room, or in the coaching staff for that matter. That's why they need to clean house. They need to start over.
Well, speaking of cleaning house, since 8B's probably going to be gone, I got a list of some trades here by Bleacher Report. I'm going to go through them, and I want you guys to let me know what you think. It's mainly just picks for most of these, but the first one is the San Francisco 49ers offer us the number 36 overall pick in the 2019 and a... Let's talk about, there's a trade that went down today. It was Joe Flacco sent to the Denver Broncos. Big news, little news, what are you guys thinking?
I mean, it's kind of big news because it's a former franchise quarterback. He's going to be number one quarterback in Denver, obviously. Is he better than Case Keenum? I don't know. Is John Elway the worst owner of all time?
He's not the owner. He's the GM, right?
Yeah, he's a GM.
Or whatever.
But yeah, I agree with Luke. This fucking is completely mind-boggling why the Denver Broncos would do this.
What are they giving up for him?
A 4th or 5th round pick. But
I mean, it's not much turnover.
He cost $19 million compared to Case Keenum's $7 million.
Never mind.
And plus,
he's not any better than Case Keenum.
No.
And he has a couple more years in his contract, so right? Or is he?
Yeah.
I think John Elway is just making sure John Elway is the best quarterback in Denver Broncos history. It's that
only
simple.
bring in shitty quarterbacks.
It's that simple. But, maybe he's looking at the fact that he took, and I'm not comparing Peyton Manning to Joe Flacco in any ways, but you take this old veteran quarterback who technically won a Super Bowl, which at the time, Peyton won the same amount of Super Bowls as Joe did at this point. Correct?
Yeah.
And maybe you think we're just going to ride out on the defense. They got Chubb. They got Von Miller. Or not Chubb. What's the...
Bradley Chubb.
Oh, is it Bradley? Okay, they got Chubb. They got Miller. Maybe they're just thinking, hey, ride the defense. We just need a quarterback who can score more than like 10 points a game.
I don't think he's bringing him in to win a Super Bowl. There's no way.
Then
There's no way John Elway thinks Flacco can win a Super Bowl.
Then why would you
just because he's a quarterback? Like, he's a starting quarterback.
But, like, I don't think...
He thinks it's better than Keith.
If this isn't a winning move, or at least an attempt for a winning move...
I mean, if he thinks that, then maybe John Elway's in the same mindset as Antonio Brown and is just completely, like, mentally challenged.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Everything I've watched today, they've all questioned this, too. Like, why the fuck are you doing this?
Why would you not just draft a new
Maybe it's just to get a big name in Denver. Maybe spice up the market or something.
Joe Flacco is not a big name.
He's elite, dude.
I mean,
okay?
he was a former starter.
Everyone hates him in Denver. He fucking beat them in the playoffs with a Hail Mary to go to the Super Bowl.
And win.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, let's talk about the AAF, which for those of you who don't know is the Association